So why do threat modeling? Threat modeling is a process you should be doing even before writing a single line of code. Often cases you'll find that threat modeling is also called a security architecture review. And while the review word makes it sound like it is something you do after the architecture has already been built, in fact, it is more of a hand-in-hand process where your application architecture includes your security architecture, and the security architecture again gives feedback to how you're designing the system itself. And the result of this is that you get the ultimate shift left. It means that ever before building, you can completely eradicate several types of risks entirely. So if you're talking about XSS, if you're talking about CSRF, things like this, if you know that there are threat scenarios for your application, you can bake those into your application architecture just at the time of building itself. And it allows you to prioritize security issues and your remediation activities. You will often find that if you were to write down an exhaustive list of all threat scenarios that can affect your application, you will find there are going to be several types and kinds of problems depending on where you're hosting it, depending on the kind of application that you have, depending on the users that you're expecting. All of these are just going to compound and give you lots and lots and lots of threat scenarios. When you look at your pen test report, you will have hundreds of low findings and maybe a few tens or dozens of mediums and a few highs and criticals. And honestly, those highs and criticals are the ones that actually make or break your application. Those lows are probably something that can be patched quite easily if you have a proper DevSecOps process, which is continuously scanning for threats, scanning for third-party libraries that have been compromised, and then you have patches coming in. So threat modeling from the get-go allows you to understand that even the pen testing results that you get in the end, you have a focused vision on what is important for your application. And this kind of knowledge allows not just your security engineers, but also your software developers to understand where threats can come from and how to fix them before they ever happen. And the next point is what I was just describing. The threat modeling process becomes something inherent to your quality assurance program. And because your threat model already dictates that there are certain pieces of the application that are more vulnerable than the others. Again, vulnerable could possibly mean that you have business logic, or you have customer sensitive data, or you have financial transactions happening. If there are pieces of your application that have more information than the rest of the application does, then any network intrusion or any malicious actors acting in that domain, in that specific area, become further focuses for your assurance department to take a look at. And finally, this is being mandated by several different organizations right now. In fact, NIST has a very particular compliance regulation that is aimed at threat modeling. It asks that every application submit to a threat modeling process, and that this is documented and it is available for every vendor downstream for them to review and then accept. If your threat modeling process is correct, then your application is correct, and therefore they have a degree of confidence that your application is secure.